Here we have Queen Anne's lace. You can tell from the white cluster top here, but remember, Queen Anne's lace has a poison lookalike called Poison Hemlock. Here we have Poison Hemlock. Poison Hemlock has these smooth, hairless stems with purple blotches. It has fern-like leaf with a parsley-like smell. It has a white umbrella-shaped flower clusters, which looks like Queen Anne's lace. It grows roughly 6 to 10 feet tall, and it's usually found in ditches, near bridges, or along trails. So how do you know the difference between this and Poison Hemlock? Well, this one, guess what? The queen has hairy legs. Hairy stem, hairy legs. That's the easiest way to identify it. Now, this is the only one that I know of within the next 3 miles, and your brother ain't walking 3 miles to find another one. So I'm not going to break the stem, but Poison Hemlock has a hollow stem. Queen Anne's lace does not, so that's another easy way to identify this as well. Now, edibility, let's talk a little bit about that. So this was actually used as a seasonal wild food, but only by those who actually are trained to properly identify it. We already talked about key identifying characteristics with this plant, so you guys should know right now how to identify this plant without a problem. Now, the first year only root, okay, remember, the first year only root was eaten raw or cooked like a carrot. Okay, this was actually referred to as a wild carrot plant. Okay, they would also boil it to soften it. Now the leaves, okay, you got this sort of little fern like leaves here, as you can see. It's kind of hard to really focus on that. I'm trying, your brother's trying, right? There we go. Okay, so the leaves, they would sometimes boil this like spinach, or they would add it to soups or stews. They wouldn't eat it raw just because it's too bitter and it's hairy, right? The seeds from this plant, they would actually use as a spice, or they would chew it or brew it into a tea. And actually, what the indigenous people would also use the seeds for is after intercourse, they would actually use the seeds as a contraceptive too. Okay, now the flowers, they were rarely eaten, but sometimes they were used infused teas or even vinegars. Now, as far as medicinally, like I said, okay, I kind of went a little bit ahead of myself, but the seeds were used as a natural contraceptive for birth control. Okay, so what they would do is they would brew into a tea after intercourse the seeds. Okay, and the tribes that I know of would be like the Cherokee, I think it was pronounced Mohegan, and some early settlers used it in this way. Roots or leaves, they were a mild diuretic. They were used in digestive remedies. Some tribes even used infusions for stimulating the kidneys or relieving bloating or gas, right? Now, flower seed tea was actually a mild stimulant or digestive aid. They actually used to regulate menstruation in some traditions. Now, I got to go over warnings, okay? We already know this has a poison lookalike called Poison Hemlock. There's also another lookalike called water hemlock, except I don't have that in my area that I've ever been able to find, so I can't really show you guys. Just do your research and find it, okay? Now, only experienced foragers or medicine people would actually use this plant. The seeds are unsafe for pregnant women, so that can cause a miscarriage. And then second year roots are way too woody to eat and just may cause digestive issues, okay? So I just want to add a couple more notes to this. So just treat this with respect and caution. It's not a daily use plant. It's more of a situational herb. Tribal healers or plant people had deep knowledge and knew how to avoid dangerous lookalikes. Also, the use of a wild carrot was often passed through oral tradition, especially among eastern and eastern woodland tribes, and those in temperate zones like the Cherokee, Mohegan, or even the Iroquois. So there you guys go. That is Queen Anne's lace.